Tony, we're here in your flat in George Tilbury House.
Yeah.
Things were fine in your nice flat, 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
Until about a couple of weeks ago. Tell me what happened.
I came home and there was loads of water outside my front door. When I've looked, there's water coming from the top. So I've opened my front door and come in, there's all water down the hallway. As I started walking, the carpets were soaking wet. Walked through to the kitchen and there was water all over the kitchen floor, all over the kitchen sides, water coming through the ceilings in the hallway and the living room. Most corners in the bedrooms there was water coming through, there was all water marks. I've gone downstairs to speak to concierge. They've told me to contact Mears. I was very lucky, there was a Mears guy outside who was a supervisor. He came up, had a look. He managed to get hold of the housing officer, the out of hours housing officer, and the electrician, because we had no electrics. The water had caused the electrics to trip. They've come up and we've found out that another property had caused a leak. We had some works being done that day. We was told not to use the water, but this tenant did use the water in that time, but they've gone out. So when the water was switched back on, it's caused a flood. But they said that the water must have been running for about 3 hours. So it's caused significant.
So 3 hours water worth of flood.
Yeah.
Flat.
Yeah.
Warm, and it's June.
Yeah.
And or into late June. What happens next?
So the housing officer asked us if they could get the electrics back on. Could we stay here? I said no, we couldn't, because
Why not?
The carpets are soaking wet. I said I've got 3 young children.
And your children are what ages?
5, 4 and 9 months now. If they were to get out of bed in the night to go to the toilet, they could slip in the bathroom. I said it just wasn't practical with young children.
You more or less had, sorry to interrupt, you more or less had to do your own health and safety assessment and say, I'm sorry, due to your care as a parent, health and safety in the environment, this ain't safe.
So eventually he agreed that he would try and find us emergency accommodation. He said that the only place they would have would be Southend. Was we willing to travel? I said yeah, that's fine, because we don't actually have anywhere else to go. There's 5 of us. He then come back and said no, we don't have any availability there. I said if we was to pay for a hotel, would we be able to claim them costs back? And he said no, he hasn't got any authorisation to do that. I said right, okay. It went on for a good few hours. Eventually we decided that me and the children would go to my parents, and Dad would go to his relative's house. That's what we done. We split up. In the morning I got a phone call from the council. They said they was aware of the situation and they'll be contacting me to make arrangements to come and see me. They come out a couple of hours later. They had a look at the damage. They could see that everywhere was soaking wet. It absolutely stunk. My sofa was soaking wet. It's damaged all the carpets. My little boy's got a condition, is under Great Ormond Street. Due to that, they said that they would put us in emergency accommodation for 4 days. If he didn't, I think they would have expected us to come back that day, even though it wasn't fit to live in. With that, we went to a local hotel. We wasn't given any food. We had no fridge, we had no microwave. I had to go to my parents' house every day to sterilise the bottles, because my baby steriliser got broken with all the water. It actually filled up with dirty yellow water, so I couldn't use that. Put a massive financial strain on us, because we've been in there 11 nights in total.
But now you're back.
Yeah, we're
Where
back now.
are we? Because, for example, you're back, you've got dehumidifiers on.
Yeah.
And you're standing behind a sign that says danger asbestos.
And I'm still waiting for the results for that. I've been chasing them now for about 5 days. I've made numerous amount of phone calls to find out what the results are. We was told that it was precautionary, but then we was told that we was not to go into the cupboard. They took samples. We had a hint that there was definitely asbestos, and then we got told, oh no, it's just precautionary. So I was a bit like, right, okay, but no one's actually confirmed what it actually is.
Okay, so apart from that, what work do they need to do, and how long do you think it's going to take?
They've said that they were going to decorate, and they're going to patch repair the wall, because the wall is really bowed. You can see the water's got behind there. The surveyor did agree that there was water behind there. So my main concern was also that there was damp going to start building up behind the wall. He said that he couldn't do anything about the damp because he can't see the mould, he can't see the damp, so he will just cut out the bit that's bowed. Behind me, to do this work, they need to take out the boiler and then do the works and put the boiler back. I've asked them what they would like me to do with 3 children while they're carrying out these works, because I don't think it's safe to have them in here, and I'm not getting no answers, basically.
And hey, little children. It's
yeah,
summer.
yeah.
And we mentioned in summer. They must break up next week.
Yeah, I think it's the 18th or the 19th they break up. I've made the council aware of that as well, and said to them that ideally the repairs need to be done now, before my little one breaks up as well, because it's going to make it really hard to have 3 children in here. I don't know what access they're going to need, because if it's asbestos, our toilet had asbestos, and they actually sealed off the toilet. So if they're going to do this, I'm assuming they're going to want to seal off the rooms. So I don't know where they want me to be with the 3 children.
So just to go over this in conclusion again, at the moment, you want to be rehoused while they then do the repairs properly, and make your place safe and habitable for your children and your family.
That's all I've wanted, is to just be taken away, take my children away, so that the works can be done and my children are in a safe environment. They put us in a hotel, which I am grateful for, but that did come at a massive cost to us. The travelling with the school, backwards and forwards, paying to eat. The council did pay for 2 of our meals, but they didn't pay for the children. And then after that, the cost was down to us.
Okay, and to conclude, we'll naturally need to get the council's side of the story, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, that's fine.
You just hope for a peaceful and healthy and safe conclusion to this.
Yeah.